The investigation process is now getting underway following bombshell allegations against State Superintendent Ryan Walters. Two state school board members insist they saw images of naked women on a TV in Walters' office.
The same man who for years has claimed school libraries are full of books containing porn and vowed to remove them. These shocking claims first came to light this afternoon in a report by the Oklahoman and then the online publication NonDoc.
Now, Walters has not directly addressed the allegations, but already Oklahoma's top Republican lawmakers say it's time to find out the facts about this. News 4's Spencer Humphrey picks it up from here. Spencer?
Yeah, guys, State Superintendent Ryan Walters, of course, is famous for his unfounded claims alleging schools were showing students porn and that he was going to get rid of it. Well, tonight, two members of Oklahoma's state school board say it wasn't in a school where they saw graphic nude images being played, but rather on a TV inside Ryan Walters' own office during an official state meeting. Now, the state is investigating, and a warning, the details we're about to share are graphic. A bombshell headline from the Oklahoman Friday. Oklahoma State School Board members claiming they saw images of naked women playing on a TV inside State Superintendent Ryan Walters' office during Thursday's State School Board meeting. Board members Ryan Dethridge and Becky Carson telling the Oklahoman it all happened during the closed session portion of the meeting while a family was appealing a school transfer denial before Walters and the board. As the family talked, Dethridge and Carson say they looked up and saw those nude images playing on a TV mounted on a wall directly behind Walters. I was just in shock, Dethridge told the Oklahoman. I was being human and I didn't know what to think. Carson dumbfounded too, telling the Oklahoman every part of the women's bodies were completely exposed and easy to make out, saying, I saw them just walking across the screen and I'm like, no, what in the world am I watching? Dethridge later told NonDoc it appeared the women in the video were on top of some sort of chiropractic table. And Carson told the Oklahoman it looked like it was made in the 60s maybe. The Oklahoman reports Carson immediately confronted Walters after the family left the room. I was so disturbed by it, Carson told the Oklahoman. I was like, what is that on your TV? I was very stern, like I'd been a mother or a classroom teacher, and I said, what am I watching? Turn it off now. Dethridge told the Oklahoman Walters immediately stood up and turned it off, never acknowledging or apologizing for what happened. Carson telling NonDoc Walters blew it off, acting like he'd just been caught in an embarrassing situation. On Friday, Dethridge and Carson both told the Oklahoman, given Walters' history of threatening to strip teachers of their certificates for much lesser offenses, they'd like to consider stripping Walters of his teaching certification, something attorney and former state school board member Tim Gilpin also thinks could be appropriate.
You know, if this had been a teacher, I'm pretty certain that they would have been immediately suspended and proceedings would have been brought to review it, and then if it turned out to be true, they'd be dismissed.
We found Oklahoma's state employment policy strictly prohibits state employees from accessing obscene or sexually explicit material on state devices. The policy saying failure to comply could lead to disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. On Friday, Oklahoma Senate President Pro Tem Lonnie Paxton announced the state's Office of Management and Enterprise Services is opening its own investigation inquiry. Paxton saying the board members' accounts of what happened paint a strange, unsettling scene that demands clarity and transparency. House Speaker Kyle Hilbert also saying an expeditious third-party review is warranted. I urge the state superintendent to unlock and turn over all relevant devices and fully cooperate with an investigation.
Superintendent Walters needs to address it honestly and frankly as quickly as possible. Because we certainly do not need a state official, certainly the superintendent of public education, doing these kinds of things.
We reached out to Walters' office, but nobody responded to us. An OSDE spokesperson did respond to the Oklahoman, calling their report a junk tabloid lie, sending them a statement saying any number of people have access to these offices. You have a hostile board who will say and do anything except tell the truth. And now the Wocklahoman, as the spokesperson wrote it, is reporting on an alleged random TV cable image. And we reached out to Deathridge and Carson, and both say everything in the Oklahoman that they reported is accurate. Deathridge told us as an appointed member of the Oklahoma State School Board, it is my top priority to protect the well-being of Oklahoma students. We hold educators to the strictest of standards when it comes to explicit material. The standard for the superintendent should be no different. And Carson told us, I was appointed to the State Board of Education to serve Oklahoma students to the best of my ability. The images that the board members were exposed to yesterday in this meeting were inappropriate, to say the least. There has to be accountability. And Kevin and Jolene, I'll send it back over to you guys for even more reaction.
We know you'll follow this too. We're also hearing from Governor Kevin Stitt. You know, he once endorsed Ryan Walters, but more recently has been distancing himself from him.
Earlier this year, Stitt replaced several state board members who supported Walters with new ones who were more critical of him, including Deathridge and Carson. The governor says, I trust and appreciate my board members. They are volunteers who are sacrificing their time to serve Oklahoma students. Should these allegations be true, all I can say is that I am profoundly disappointed.